Subscribe to Bunny7 UK. Best channel.
Alright, wicked, yeah?
Yes.
Alright. So, okay, my viewers, as you know, I have written a book, and the title of the book is God Revive Me from the Grave. And a lot of my readers read the book, fell in love with the book, and contact me back and tell me that from the moment they pick up this book, they can't put it down. So my granddaughter get interest in this book, and she want to know more about my life. So let me just show you what she look like. So that is my granddaughter. She gonna ask me some question about the book. So just show your face that you see what she's look like, okay? Here's the book. That's the book. It's called God Revive Me from the Grave, and it's all about my life. So, all right? So now, she's going to ask me some question, and I'm going to try my best to answer as much as we can. Go ahead.
Okay, so the first thing that interested me in this book is where you were saying how you had to walk 3.5 miles to school there and back, and then you had to go to the field before that. How was that like?
Right.
Going to the field and then
so
to walk?
What happened there? We grew up in the country, place in Jamaica, in the hills, and our school was very, very far from home. But as a boy growing up, children have to go to the bushes in the morning when we wake up, we have to go to the bush, tie out the goat, look rabbit feeding, come back, go down to the spring to catch water, come back, have our breakfast, and then we have to walk like miles, 3 miles to school and back. Now, first thing, in the morning, sometimes you're late going to school, so you have to run. Sometimes we fall down, sometimes because we're late. Back in the West, we get beaten for late.
And you was also barefooted, you had no
barefoot,
shoes.
yeah.
Not
When
even
we was
no
growing up, we
socks.
never couldn't afford shoes. No, so no socks, no shoes. We have to come back home in the evening, and we have to go back. So the same journey that you do in the morning, when you come back in the evening, you have to do the same thing. You have to go back to the bush again to bring back the goat home. Look, rabbit feed, because you have to feed the rabbit morning and evening, because you eat twice a day, so you have to feed the rabbit twice a day, same way.
Yeah, that must have been really hard. And then it says that the teachers would beat you if you was late.
Yes, so you get punishment for late when you go to school. So what happened, when you go to school in the morning, sometimes if we're late and we know we're going to get beaten, we don't go to school. We hide in the bushes. And then when break time, then we go into school. If you do go into school, you get punishment. And some of the punishment that you get beaten with us, you put your hand out like this. And you will get like 3 straps in your hand. But if you move your hand from there, then you get the way back.
Oh, so if you move your hand, it's like you get an extra punishment.
Yeah,
Like, don't
yeah.
move.
What the teacher will do, they will let you stand in a corner, and they will take your take your left hand and hold your right ears, and the next hold your foot. So you stand on one foot and hold your ears.
Did anyone try to fight the teachers back or anything?
No, you can't do that back home.
Did the parents let that happen? Or was it like a normal thing back then?
It's a normal thing back home those times. You couldn't rude to your teacher. You get extra punishment for that.
Oh, the next question I have is, how was it when your dad put the machete to you? Was you scared?
Well, that shouldn't happen, but back home, as I said, parents get away with things. If it was in the West Indies, Jamaica, England, they couldn't get away with things like this, because what happened, I done something, and my father grabbed me, and he sent for the machete, and the machete come back, and what he have done, he have hold me and hold the machete on my throat, so I'm gonna cut my neck off. So my mother appear and ask me for my idiot, try to take me away, and my father will take the belt and hit my mom over her back, and she leave.
And how come he had to wash it with soap? All the cuts?
Well, you see, in the West is again, your parents, they tend to do some silly things, which, as I said, no, they wouldn't get away with it.
Yeah.
Because your parents, when they beat you back home, they don't think about what they do. So your parents, in the West Indies, your parents is so horrible. What they do, they send you to the bush to cut a whip to beat your own self. And if you go and cut a whip and the whip too small, and they say no, they send back cut a bigger whip.
Wait, so you had to cut it yourself to get beat with
yes,
it as well?
Your father send you go cut a whip, and that whip is to beat your own self. And if the whip too small, then sender said no, you don't want a different whip, so you have to go back and cut a bigger whip. Or otherwise then use the leather belt.
That is crazy.
Tell me about it.
You gotta go get a whip to get yourself beat. I'll be picking the lightest one. So, there was another part. You know when you had to sleep like under the trees and stuff? Was you
Right.
scared at night and things
No,
like that?
I am never scared because, as I said, what happened as a young boy growing up, my father used to beat me a lot. And there's time when I don't want to get beaten, so I don't want to go home. So for me, I will go to my friend and I will be with my friend, and night will come down, and then sometime I will hide and go into my friend's house and sleep, or I will sleep on my friend's veranda, or sleep on my friend's house bottom.
And you was never scared.
Never. I walk any hours a night in the dark, and I've never scared as
Do
a
you
little
think
boy.
getting beat made you like stronger a bit? Like,
Getting beat don't make me stronger. What it do, it make me more resilient.
yeah.
Because when somebody is beating you for like little and nothing, it make you just feel like I want to be more.
Do more bad because
More bad, yeah,
when
yeah.
I'm doing something that's very small, it's like I'm getting punished in
Punished
this
with things,
crazy way. So it's like
yeah, so-
I might as well do something bigger and it's worth the punishment.
Yeah. So it's like my father would send me out and I would stop with my friends and play marble and do silly things, and when time comes for me going back, you know you're gonna get beaten. So instead of go home, you just go out with your friend and
Yeah.
you know.
You know how you started smoking at the age of 10? Was it your friends around you that were smoking at
Right.
10 years old as well?
Smoking at that young age, what happened? My grandfather was a smoker and he used to smoke tobacco. So as a little boy, we used to go into his house and thief his tobacco, and we used to wrap it in paper and smoke. So that is how it started off. And then when I couldn't get the cigarette to smoke, I used the tobacco to smoke. We used to pick the chocho leaf.
What's chocho leaf?
Chocho leaf is a little green thing that they cook in soup.
Oh, okay.
Christophine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we used to pick the leaf off of that and used to cut it up and wrap it in paper and smoke it like, you know, so that's how we start smoking.
And then you tried to smoke weed, but it was turning you mad. Like you
Yeah,
felt it was
yeah, yes. So that part, I nearly mad twice by smoking weed. And what happened there? As a little boy, you smoke weed with your friend them, and what happened? I remember twice. I was sitting there smoking the weed, and I feel like my head started to spin and my body started to go funny. And another time, I was sitting with some friend and I was smoking the ganja pipe, and at that stage, I nearly mad because I was walking. What happened? Let me just tell you what happened there. About 8 of us sitting to a group, and we was underneath a tree, and they light the chillung pipe, and it's go round. And when it come to me, and I smoke it, and I give it to the other guy, but then it's empty, and then start to reload it again for the second loading.
Again.
Yeah. And at that stage, I feel my throat dry like I want water. So I get up and I went to the kitchen window and I said to the young lady, "Can I have a glass of water?" So she full a big glass of water and give me, and I put up my head like this. All I could hear is gap, gap. And there was like nothing in my throat. It's like it was an empty space.
Yeah.
So the water finished and I feel just as thirsty. So I decided, all right, you know what? I'm gonna go. I'm not going back where they was smoking. So I decided to leave. So I never even tell them that I was going. I walked through the gate and I was going down the road. And when I was going down, I feel my head start to spin, my whole body started to spin, and I'm started going funny. And I was in a place called Through the Plain Band Street in Kingston, near the Coronation Market. And while I was walking, I find myself start to run. And while I was running, I hear a voice said to me, "If you run, you're gonna mad." So I stop and I look behind me, and there was nobody behind me. So I still carry on running again. And I hear the voice said to me again, "If you run, you're gonna mad." So I stop. So when I stopped now, I realized that I was going the wrong way because that's the way I was going. That's not the way I was supposed to go. I was supposed to go the other way because I was supposed to go into Coronation Market because the lady that I live with have a cook shop in the market and she'll cook food. And that's where I was supposed to go, but I was going the wrong way. So I turned back and I went into the market. And at that stage, I shared with some food. I eat the food. I went under the stall. I dropped asleep. And when I wake up, I was okay.
Oh, okay. And then with that, you after when you really wanted to stop smoking, you put the tobacco on a roof, and
Right.
that worked for you to stop smoking.
Yes. What happened there, when I was smoking, I think I was in my 20s. I was in my 20s, around, I was about 24, 25 year old. I tried several times to stop smoke because I'm smoking from the age of about 7, 8 year old. I was smoking on and off. So at that stage, I decided that I want to stop smoke. So I tried several times. I tried sweetie. I tried all different type of things to stop smoke, and I couldn't stop. So a old lady said to me, if I want to stop smoke, this is what I should do. So she advised me to put a cigarette on top of the roof, the zinc roof, before the sun goes down. And I must pick it up at the morning before the sun come up on it. So it's gonna look like it's wet. I must pull it out, but I must not the part that you put into your mouth, the part that the nicotine. And I must break it off and put it into a glass. But not the nicotine, not the white bit, just the inside part. And I must mix it, and it can turn like the color of a tea bag in the glass. So he said I mustn't taste it, because if I taste it, then I'm not gonna drink it. Just turn the plate and drink it one time.
Just down the whole thing.
Yeah. So I've done that, and when I done it, the same day I went back over, and about that time you could buy cigarette Singer. So I bought 2 Singer cigarettes, and I light one, and I was smoking it, and I take a couple of draws of it, and I feel like I want to vomit. My stomach feel upset. So I give away the cigarette that I was smoking to a friend, and I went back home with the other cigarette that I won.
Yeah.
And the evening, I went back to light that other cigarette, and the same thing happened to me. Couldn't smoke it, and from that day,
So you think that method really worked for you?
it
to
worked for
stop?
me.
100%.
That method 100% worked for me, because I stopped smoking, and I was
And-
25 years old at
And
the time.
once did you pick up a cigarette after that?
I pick up a cigarette twice after that. I pick up a cigarette, and the reason why, I went to America when I was 25 years old with a friend.
Yeah.
And we went to a hospital, and my friend smoked, and he never have a cigarette, and he said he couldn't take the smell of the hospital, and he saw a white man. I saw a man with a cigarette, and he wanted to beg the man a cigarette, but he was shy. So I said to the man, "Excuse me, mate, can I have a cigarette, please?" So he gave me the cigarette, but my friend never have a lighter. So I light the cigarette off of his light cigarette.
Oh, that's where you tried it.
Yeah, so I just light it. But what happened after I've done that, I find that I was just spitting.
Yeah, like you was disgusted
Yeah,
from it.
disgusting from it. So I just couldn't take it anymore. So I never smoke again until when I come to England here. One day I was up at home, and me and my ex-wife, we have an argument, and she smoked. And I went and take one of her cigarettes, and I light it, and I sit on the veranda, the staircase, and I wasn't smoking it. I was just upset,
Yeah, so
and
you
and I tell you, I almost vomit. I was spitting for about 2-3 hours straight.
because the taste is.
And that was the last time a cigarette ever
I
touched
think
my
maybe
mouth.
it's the taste from the drink that you drank. It just put you off it
Yeah,
completely, which
yeah.
is really good.
So that is, I can say to anybody, if you want to stop smoke, that is a method I would say to anybody, try it. It worked for me. It might not work for you, but it worked for me.
You know, driving the buses. How much different buses did you drive? Like
I drive different buses. In Jamaica, I drive buses almost all around Jamaica.
Yeah.
I drive taxi, I drive buses, I drive country bus carry market people, all from Portland to, from Kingston to Portland, Portland to Kingston, Portland to St. Thomas. I drive country bus all over. Carry market people.
Oh, so you was basically going all over Jamaica, different parts.
Different part of Jamaica. I drive bus, truck, everything.
And did you like it?
I love it. It's something that I do and enjoy.
How did you feel when your first daughter was born in the hospital and you couldn't make it? Did that upset you? Like the fact that you wasn't there?
My first daughter, born in the hospital, I was there when my first daughter, because, let me put it this way. There was some problem, so I never know of the birth.
Yeah.
So I couldn't be there because I never know of it.
Oh, so you didn't know that it was gonna happen?
No.
Oh, I mean, this the second one then. I mean,
The second
Yeah.
daughter,
yeah,
which is your mother,
yeah.
yeah. So, because Damien is my second child, and I was I wasn't
Oh,
happy.
is this the one where it says no? There was still no afterbirth around 10 p.m. Is that?
That's
the
your
one?
mother.
Oh, okay.
That's your mother.
Yeah. How was that one then?
Right. That's one is a long story because that one Damien was born, and your mother, she was pregnant with your mom, and when I come home and find out that because this was gonna be a birth at home,
Yeah.
but it never happened, so we have to rush to the baby actually born at home. Angela was born at home, but I have to get taxi to rush. Did I? No, sorry, I'm wrong. We rush her to hospital. And she have the baby, but the afterbirth never come until the next day.
Oh, so she could have died or something.
So she have the baby like she had the baby like no like sorry I'm wrong. The baby was born at home.
Yeah.
And we have to rush her to the hospital. We have to get taxi and rush her to the hospital.
Yeah.
But the afterbirth never come until the next day. So it's like 24 hours after the baby born before the afterbirth come.
Oh, okay then. And then, so mum was born at home in the house.
Yes,
in
she was.
Kingston.
Yeah, now in St. Thomas.
Oh, okay.
In St. Thomas.
And then you moved to.
We have to rush her to hospital in St. Thomas.
Oh, you know, when you went to meet your the day at the cliff, that day, how was that?
Right. I'll say that again.
The day at the cliff, where you fell off the cliff and you cut all your hands open.
All right. That was a night. I was 10-year-old at that time, and my mom went to get some load, and my father said to me, I must go and meet my mom. So night come down, and I never want to go too far as a little boy, 10-year-old. So I went to a shop, and I stopped at the shop, and I was like, sit on the shop paiser, and it reached the time where the shop ready for close, because it was about 8:30, 9 o'clock the shop closed.
Yeah.
And then my mom never come until about 10 o'clock. So I end up like fall asleep on the pavement, and I managed to hear my mom when she was passing. So when I jump up, you know, when you wake up, it's like you're bit.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah. So my mom ended up past me. And by then, when I wake up and I light this back lamp and start to run to catch my mom, when I get around the corner and look, my mom was going like way over there. I could see their light.
Yeah, her.
So I was running,
Yeah, to try get to it.
to get to him. And as soon as I get around the corner, the breeze come from the gully and hold my lamp. So the place become pitch black dark.
So now you can't see.
Can't see nothing. And half of the road was breakaway. And I just find, because I was running, I just find myself like I was flying and just land into the precipice.
Yeah, it's like when you're dropping down that thing, it just felt like.
Yeah.
And
So,
it's still dark, so you're not even seeing where you're going.
yeah, so I land on my bottom on my two hands. So my hand may go dig out, my trousers bottom rip out, and I slide down the gully.
And your parents didn't believe you till
They never believed me until when the next day when my father go there and see where I fell. That's when my father believed me.
And then after that, the people went and fixed the area.
They went and put some bamboo around it to cut, like, shield it.
Yeah, so
And
no
then
one
eventually
else.
then build a wall there.
Oh, that's good then. You know when you broke into the shop with your friend, how was that like? Did you think the mum was gonna kill you? Or something?
Right. This one, me and my friend, that's why I say sometimes, friend is not a good thing to
Yeah.
keep, and,
The wrong company.
yeah, the wrong company, because if I was on my own, I wouldn't do this, but because I would friend. So what happened, we went to the shop the evening, and we was in the shop, but the man have a wooden window, and it have like bolt in it.
Yeah.
So what we do, we take the bolt out, because the window was closed. So we take the bolt out and come back 2 o'clock in the morning. So the man will think his shop still locked because it's still closed. And I open the window and I go inside, and my friend's supposed to outside watching to see if anybody come in. So I went into the shop and I was looking to see if I could find any money and food. And while I was in the shop, I hear a sound outside, and I hear the man say, "Boy, where you do at the man shop with the man shop window open?" And I'm thinking, what? Am I hearing right? So I come back to the window to look out to see what happened. And when I look out, the man hold my friend like this.
So you're thinking, I'm next.
And I'm thinking, I'm next. Got the police station just up the road. So I went back into the shop to see if I could find a window, a door,
Or like a back door
to get out. But when I go around, I end up in a bedroom. I end
man's bedroom.
up in the man's bedroom.
It was connected to the shop.
Yes. And the man goes, like he said, Master George, see the boy that broke in your shop. And the man wake up. And he pull out a machete from underneath his bed, long machete from underneath his bed. And I am on this side of the bed and he's on that side and he's swinging the machete. And I'm running around like this and I'm running. And I'm thinking.
So it's like you like going in circles
yeah.
around the bed.
And I'm thinking, oh my God.
I'm about to die.
For some reason, I can't even remember if there were, I'm talking to you now and I can't remember if there was light in this place or it was in darkness. But all I know that I was running and he was running, I was running and he was running, I was running and he was running. And eventually, I jump over the bed and I run back into the shop. I jump up on the counter, upon the window, and the man hold my friend same way, and I jump straight on him. And the chair would tumble down.
On the floor.
And we get up and run. And that's how I escaped that one.
Did your dad or mum ever find out?
No.
Never.
Nobody ever know. None of my family knew about that.
And did the people spot your face on? See how you
it was my district. It was another district far from my district.
Oh, okay. So it's not like the people in the area.
Yeah, recognized me. Yeah, so it never come back to me. Nobody ever asked me about it, and nobody know about it.
Oh, okay. You know when you had the appendicitis, how do you say it?
Appendix, right. When the appendix burst inside of me, what happened? I was living in Kingston. And I started to have this belly pain. And this belly pain was going for about a week on and off. And I went to the doctor. And the doctor keep telling me that I mustn't eat any hard food. I must drink liquid porridge and soup and stuff like that. And this pain keep going on and on. And all he's giving me anything for it. Just tell me that I mustn't. Anyway, one day, me and my friend, we decided to go to Portland to buy a car engine. But before that, in the day before, we went somewhere and was drinking a lot of jelly coconut and eat up sugar cane. So the following day we went to Portland and it was 4 of us went. We have 2 cars. So there was a young lady with me and the other car, the guy and another guy. And they gone to collect the engine and me and the girl sit in the car waiting, and I sit there and I find my tummy start to gripe me. It started to gripe me, start to feel all kind of funny ways. And then I feel my head start to go into some funny feelings like I'm gonna pass out. And I said to the young lady, I don't feel well. But she don't drive.
Oh, okay.
She don't drive. So by then, I sit there and I think the way I'm feeling, I don't know what's gonna happen to me now. So I take the key and push it into the ignition. And God was so good. As soon as I put the key in the ignition, the guy then drive up. And I said to them, look, I'm not feeling well. I need to go to the hospital. So the other guy take over the car. And they start to drive from Portland to St. Thomas. And I'm telling you, every time the car hit a little rut on the road, I feel like my belly is coming up into my mouth.
Yeah, like every time like a
like when you want to vomit. And you feel like your whole belly is coming up. And when we get to the hospital and they drive in, they bring a wheelchair to put me on because I couldn't sit up. And because I was lying down in the car, as soon as I ease up, I start like I'm vomiting. So they put me on the wheelchair and I fell out of the wheelchair on the floor. And they bring a stretcher and they put me on the stretcher. But because I lie down now, it's like everything started to run up. And I couldn't give my name. I couldn't speak to nobody. It's like I was getting into like an unconscious. But I know what was happening, but I couldn't speak.
Like you could understand what's going on around
you. Yeah, but I couldn't speak. Yeah.
Or anything.
So what they do, they rush me onto a ward. And they literally put a tube through my nose, down my throat, and then drain out some things out of my belly, black, blue, green, all type of different colors thing. So I was supposed to have an operation because them suck out the poison. But it actually...
So it was poison inside?
Yeah, poison.
How did you get poison inside you? Like,
because appendix is poisonous.
Oh, okay.
Appendicitis is poisonous. And worse when it bursts. Because it's gone over your body now.
Oh, so that's mixing with your blood and everything?
Yes. So they managed to put a tube through there and then suck out most of the poison it was inside of me. So I supposed to have an operation to actually remove the rest of the appendicitis inside of me now. But in Jamaica, you have to pay the hospital money. So I was supposed to pay 800 Jamaican dollar for the operation. And because I never have that money, we have to try and find my father. No, my father never lived anywhere close to us. We're talking about like probably about 20 miles away from the hospital to my father's house. And this is night time we're talking about now. So by the time, then time they wouldn't have mobile phone. So somebody have to drive to my father's house to tell him what happened. So by then, when I get there, my father don't have $800 in them time. It was in the 80s. So I have to lie down on that hospital bed and for 24 hours tell my father get that money the next day to bring to the hospital
to get your operation.
To get the operation. And God kept me. God kept me. I'm alive today.
And that's how I like how you put God revealed me from the grave, and like after your testimonies, because it's like it's really true how God saved your life so much times. Like you've been in near death things, and it's like God saved you, God saved you, God saved you, God saved you each and every single time.
God saved me. So, I believe in God. As I said, I believe in God because, the things that I have been through in my life, I believe that if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be alive today.
Yeah, it's like, if it wasn't God, then how are you still here? Like, God's the one that kept you, because it's been too much close things. And it's like one little thing that just steers you away from death. And it's God.
Because when you sit down and you look back and you think how some people just have a simple car accident and die, or them have a simple little sickness and go in a hospital and die, or somebody just have a simple heart attack and never come through. And I'm talking about 7 different things that happened to me.
And you're still here.
And I'm still here. Those things make me want to worship God. These things make me want to praise God. These things that
you just appreciate Him.
I appreciate God. Because God is showing me how wonderful and how loving and kind He is to me.
Even when you were sinning, God.
Even when I was sinning, I was still out in the world doing. I wasn't committing my life to Christ, but yet still He was there looking after me.
And that just goes to show.
That's God is wonderful.
How did it feel like knowing that your mom was in the car and she died? Like, did you know that she died straight away, or?
No. Well, as I said, where my mom accident is, I was driving this vehicle, and I have to pass where me live to go to where my mom live. So I decided to make a stop at my house. So I have to make a right turn. There's a long stretch of road, and I have to make a right turn to go into my house. So I put my indicator on. I was driving a left-hand drive Ford Carrier pickup, and so I was on the left-hand side of the vehicle, and I'm turning right. So while I was turning, the side that the vehicle turned over on is the side that I sit on.
Yeah.
The window was wind down. So when the vehicle turned over and dropped on the side, it started to slide
on the gravel,
on the ground. And my hand was rubbing onto the asphalt. So everything rub off and becomes white like this when I come out of the vehicle.
Like your flesh is all showing.
Yes. And what happened, the guy who hit me, he was driving a Honda Accord. I was driving a Ford Carrier pickup. But because I was turning right, so this is my vehicle, and I was turning right, so the guy hit me like underneath the right hand side of the back of my vehicle, like here, while I'm turning right. So he go underneath me and flick the vehicle like this onto the side, and it slide, and then it flick again, and the 4-wheel was in the air like this. So it was actually on the roof. So my mom and my 9-year-old nephew and was in the back of the vehicle.
Yeah.
And me and my girlfriend was in the front. And because there was a lot of drinks and shot goods was in it, the drinks then break up, and my mom get a head injury.
Oh, from the glass.
From it. And it was raining the day, and because we never have any ambulance, they have to put my mom in a open back pickup to drive her to the hospital. And by then we were there, the police come and have to give statement and everything like that. And by then I start to pass out now. So the police rushed me off to the hospital. And we went to the hospital and them checked me over. Me, my girlfriend and my mom, we was okay. Sorry, me, my girlfriend and my nephew were okay. And they sent us back home, but my mom was admitted unconscious. So the police sent me home and tell me to come back to the station the following day to give my statement. And about 3 o'clock in the evening, I was in the station giving my statement, and I hear the police phone ring while I was there. Just like when me and you sit here. The police pick up the phone and say hello. And he was listening. He wasn't saying anything. He was just listening. And he turned and looked at me. And when he looked at me, just the way he looked at me,
You just knew.
I just assumed that something wrong. And he turned to me, I'm sorry, your mother just passed away. And I just break down right there and then. I get up out of the station and I walk out. And I could have get a drive back home. But the way I felt, I just want to just cry. I just want to just walk and cry. Just walk and cry. And I walk from the station right back to where I live. And yeah, it's just one of them things. But the guy who hit me, he ran away. He's from America. He was in Jamaica on holiday.
Oh, okay.
And he was, when I come back to the station, he was there. But because my mother was still alive, the police allowed him to go home.
Oh, okay.
And the next day when they found out that my mom died and they went back to him, them said that he leave the country.
So he already knew he wasn't trying to.
So nothing come out of the death of my mom. It's just
like she got no justice for.
no justice for
his
her.
little silly action.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Why did your brother kill your dad? Like, did he admit that it was ever about the car, or
Well,
did he ever give reasoning as to why he did it?
with my brother, until now, nobody know the reasons for the death of my father. All we know that my brother murdered my dad, and they passed him unsenile. So they said the doctor passed him unfit.
Yeah.
So that's what he went to prison, and I think he done I think it's 3 years or 4 years, something like that. I can't remember exactly, but he went to prison and he did a couple of years in prison and come out back unsenile.
Did he ever show any signs of mental illness or anything of that sort?
Not if I can say he don't show mental illness, but he showed like he wasn't 100%, like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he come out and he went and Dubai and sell. You know, he was there, but he never like somebody walk around and trouble people and yeah.
So when people had it that and were saying that you and your brother had set this up when you murdered your mum and your dad murdered your brother, how did that make you feel knowing
Right.
that you didn't do that?
Where that concern, when my brother trial and we went to the courthouse, I was sitting in the courthouse and they bring out my brother into the witness box. And I sit there and some people sit behind me. And I hear one of the ladies said, "Oh, that boy, he murdered his father and his brother killed his mother." And I turned on to the young lady and I said, "Excuse me, what did you just say?" And she said, "That boy, he murdered his father and his brother killed his mother."
Not knowing that you're the brother.
Yeah, she never knew that me was the brother. And I said to her, "Young lady, let me tell you something. That boy is my brother. And I am the one who was driving the car when my mom died. So wherever you get your story, go back again, go." And they just shut up because they were so shocked.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't believe that the person that they're talking about was sitting right in front of them. Yeah.
Did you ever see your brother after he murdered your dad or anything? Did you speak to him?
While my brother was going through the trial, I leave Jamaica and come to the UK.
Yeah.
And I never go back to Jamaica until 3 years after that. So he was actually in prison.
Oh,
when I go back to Jamaica 3 years. So I never went to the prison to see him because I was still upset and hungry. But he's 4 years spent. He spent 4 years. So I go back to Jamaica, I think 2 years after that. And then by then he was out of prison. So I saw him then.
Have you spoke to him recently or anything, or
Well,
do you guys just not keep in contact? Or?
My brother is no longer in existence.
Oh, okay.
He passed away suddenly. He passed away and nobody did find his body. He just disappeared.
Really?
Yeah, he passed away about 3 years ago, and we can't find his body. We don't know how he died. He just disappeared and nobody knew where he is. Yeah.
Maybe he just tried to get away from, or maybe he just...
Nobody knows. Then the police never find any body for him. We don't know whether he's alive or died. He just disappeared.
So, when your dad died, did you have like any resentment towards him for what he'd done to you, or was it just all of...
We never see any resentments. We never say any sorry. We have no reason why he do the murder. All we know that he take the life of our dad. It's my dad and it's his dad. He took the life with a machete and he went to prison and come back out. We have
And
no.
then you guys just left it at that, like
We just leave it at that.
didn't try to figure it out or anything. You just thought,
Well, in my head,
you
I
had your reasoning maybe.
I have my reason why he do it, but I have no concrete proof. And
Yeah.
knowing what I know now as a child of God, I'm not gonna hold judge and grudge.
Yeah.
You know, so I said, you know what, it
Just let
happened,
go of
and
it.
I have my feelings and my gut. I have things in my heart that I think, you know, something I believe that my dad could be alive today, but this is the story.
Did it happen in your house or did it happen
It's
outside?
happening in our family house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because what happened, my mom and my dad house is there. So we have our bedroom, we have my brother room, we have my mom and dad room, and we have my room. So the arguments start from in the family, the boys' room, and my father get up to find out what's happened. And there was a window, and my brother jumped through the window and pick up my father machete, brand new machete that he don't even use, and he used that machete to flick the wound on my father.
Oh, okay. Coming to England, do you think that gave your life like a new turn? Like, do you think it opened opportunities for you, or
Yes, it's opened up opportunity for me, and because I was trying to come to England before that murder take place.
was that like just like a thing in Jamaica? Like a lot of people would come to England from Jamaica, like
I wouldn't say that a lot of people, but people do travel from England to Jamaica. But sorry, I must say that murder helped me to leave Jamaica faster.
yeah,
Because my mom died 3 months before my father. It was 3 months apart before the death of my mom and the death of my father. So because my sister came down for my mom's funeral and my dad died so quick, my sister couldn't come back for the funeral
of your father.
of my father. So my sister sent them some money to me where I do the funeral, and then my sister give me a trip to come over that we can sit down and talk about the family affair. And that gave me the opportunity to come to England.
Okay, and when you came to England, how was it? Because you had a back injury and stuff like
Right.
that.
In coming to England was good, but it was hard at first. It was hard because coming to England, I spent almost 2 years in England, couldn't get no work. Because I come here on holiday and I stay, I don't have any permit to work.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get a job. So I was here illegal for 2.5 years and hiding.
So when you came here, it was illegally, like you didn't have your visa
Yeah,
to stay or
yeah.
anything.
Because I came to England on a 6-month visa. So after that 6-month run out, I'm illegal in the country
Yeah.
until I get my stay. So I couldn't work because I don't have any paperwork to work. And I tried to get a little bit of work here and there. And then people was like, I work on a building site for 2 or 3 days. I get no money at all. Then they just run me off the site.
Really?
This guy said I wasn't working fast enough. I wasn't doing the job I wanted to do. And they run me off the site. So life was hard for me for that period of time until when eventually I get my stay in the country. I get my legal paperwork that I could actually work. So I start to work. But after I start to work, my aim was to get my children from Jamaica.
Yeah.
So I leave my daughter, my 2 daughters and my son in Jamaica. And my aim was to bring them over. So it wasn't about me trying to make money. It's about me trying to raise funds to take them out.
Get your children to come
So
along with.
the first one I tried to bring over was Lisa, but Lisa said she never wanted to live in England. She wanted to come on holiday. And I said to her, I said, look, at the moment I can't afford to bring you on holiday, shop for you and send you back.
Yeah.
So I'm going to help somebody else. So I tried to bring over Damien. And when I tried to bring Damien, immigration turned him down. So I decided, all right, that's 2. So I said, all right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try Angela. So I never applied for Angela. I just buy a ticket here, send them the ticket for Angela, and said to them, she's coming for holiday. And Angela come up on the plane without anybody. She come up with just with people them on the plane. And then 2 years after that, I went back to Jamaica and I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna bring Damien with me. So I just buy a ticket for him,
brought him
he's
back.
coming on holiday, I bring him back with me same way. So Lisa now, I just give Lisa a trip. So she come over on a 3-month holiday. She spent 3 months, she never spent a whole 3 months. I think she spent 2.5 months, something like that. And she went back home. So that's why I help my children them. So, you know, I'm proud. I'm proud to know that I get a chance to give them the opportunity.
Yeah, I think you should, because not a lot of people have.
Yeah.
So, when they stayed here as well, was they illegal in the country, or
No.
was their visa?
Angela, when Angela come here, she wasn't illegal.
Oh, okay.
Because Angela come over, I bring Angela over, and I just put her straight into school.
Yeah.
So Angela come here as a child, and I put her straight into education, and then I filed for Angela.
Yeah.
Damien come over on a 6-month visa. When Damien come, I put him straight into college, and I reinstalled him in college, until when he married.
Yeah.
So when he married, he get his stay.
Yeah.
So none of my children wasn't here illegal.
Oh, okay, then they always.
Yeah, none of my children wasn't here illegal.
How does it feel when you get to sit and like put all your accomplishments of everything that you've done in your book? Like, how does that make you feel?
Right. Well, with my book, I feel like I achieved something. And the reason why I felt like I achieved something, in my whole life, I've never read and write.
Yeah.
I've never read and write in my whole life. I lie all through my life. So I was a bus driver in Jamaica. And when I was supposed to get my license, it was very hard to get my license because I couldn't read and write. So I lie and I pay my way and get my license. And I drive in Jamaica for, God, over 20 odd years in Jamaica before I leave there. And I must say, I was a very good driver. I only have one accident over 20 odd years.
Very good.
You know, and it wasn't my fault. And I come to England in my 30s. And when I come to England, I still couldn't read and write, because if you give me a book, I will say black writing and white background. I know A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But if you ask me to put a word together.
Oh, so it was like the words being together that was like a bit mumbly jumbly for you. Like.
Yeah, jumble up for me. So I know the letters, but it's the pronunciation of word I couldn't do.
So what did you do to start learning how to read? Did you go back to school?
Right. So when I come to England and I wasn't working, I decided, you know what happened? The opportunity is here. So I'm going to use the opportunity to get some form of education. So I start to go to a college in London. And just as I start to go to the college, I get my first year stay. And in that first year stay, I get my work permit to work. So I start to work. But the job that I get was a night job. It was a night job. So I just started college and get a night job. It was hard for me to go to school in the daytime. So I drop out of school.
Yeah.
So I had to stop school. So I just carry on working.
The reading thing kind of got brushed to the side a little bit.
Yeah. So when I have ended up took sick long term because I hurt my back, which I never worked for about 14 years. I never worked. In that period of time, I said to myself, you know what? I'm on benefit. So I'm going to use this opportunity to go back to college. So I do a 6-month course on basic English.
Yeah.
And the teacher told me one day that I'm doing well. But I couldn't see where I was doing well. She just said to me, I was doing well. And I finished that 6-month course and I said, you know what? If she told me I'm doing well, I get a certificate. So I have my certificate still. So I booked myself in for a 1-year course now on basics computer and English, how to type, how to turn on a computer, how to turn it off, and basics reading.
Yeah.
And at the end of that 1-year course, I realized that I was reading. And the rest from there is just history.
And then it's like, so you really just helped yourself to improve.
Yeah.
And now
So
you can sit down and read a book.
So me personally now, I would say is the Holy Spirit that be my teacher right now.
Yeah.
Because now I'm sitting and I'm reading the Bible. So I would say to my listeners and to my followers, go over to my prayer and testimony channel, which is Bonnie2 UK. That is my prayer and testimony channel. Every day I post a video on that channel. Every day I post a video. And, you will hear me reading. You will hear me testify how wonderful God is to me. So my viewers, just type in Bunny 2 UK in YouTube and you will see me over there. You will hear me read and it will just amaze you what God can do.
So when you found out that you had the cancer, was you feeling ill or anything, or?
Right. With the cancer, I never feel sick. What happened? About 2 years before I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, I just wake up one morning or go to my bed. I can't remember exactly how it happened. And I just feel that urge in me to go to the doctor and do a prostate check. Nobody tell me to do it. You watch different video and you hear different people die from prostate cancer and.
And you wasn't even thinking that you would even.
I never thinking if I have prostate cancer or anything, and I never have prostate cancer at that time. That was 2 years before.
Oh, that was 2 years before.
2 years before. So I went to the doctor and I said to my GP, I would like to do a prostate check. They gave me a blood form. I went and do the test. Then sent it off, and it come back. I was fine. There was nothing. 2 years later, it dawned on me again to go and do another one. Nobody tell me to do it. It is just, when I say nobody, God drop it into my spirit.
Yeah.
All of these things I have to put God first because God speak to me and I hear. So I went and I do it, and when the blood form come back, the doctor called me in and he said to me, them see a shadow in my blood that they need to investigate. And I went back to the GP and he put his finger up my bum and feel around, and he said I feel a lump. So when I feel a lump, them said no, then they need to do further investigation. Then they refer me back to the hospital. And when they do the test and everything, then they realize that I have prostate cancer. But it was so early that I wait 3 months before anything was done.
Yeah.
And now, touch wood, as we're doing this interview, it is a year and 18 months now. And here I am giving God thanks.
Because it's going away.
It's going.
That's really good. And you caught it early, so
Caught
you
it early.
Having no type of
No
symptoms or
I have never spent a day in bed away from when I actually go into the hospital to do my procedure.
And it's never caused you any type
Never caused me any type of problem.
And that was God putting in your spirit once again to go. He knew that there was a problem and he told you right on the spot, go get it sorted out, and that's what happened.
Yes.
So then after that, you was diagnosed with arthritis?
Yes, so with that, I would say is before the arthritis is before the prostate cancer.
Oh, okay.
So I was collapsed. I was collapsed with a blood clot. I was come out of hospital and I have the arthritis and then the prostate cancer after.
Oh, okay then. So then, with that, you got put on blood thinning medications that you have to take
Yes, still on for life.
So is it that your blood's too thick or something, so it creates?
Right. The blood thinning. If I come off that blood thinning tablet that I'm on, my blood can clot.
Oh, it's something called high platelets.
Yeah. So my blood can go thick and clot up, and it can cause me.
And then if that gets to your lungs or your heart, that's when it becomes very dangerous. Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's why you have to take that
blood thinning. Yeah.
Forever. Okay. What inspired you to write this book?
Right. What inspired me to write this book is just to tell the world. I'm not saying tell the world how wonderful and loving God is to me. To encourage people who have testimony. Because people who read this book been through a situation in their life. Your testimony means something to somebody. Because I have several people who read this book who contact me and said to me, this book means so much to them. This book helped them so much. They pick up this book and they start to read it and they can't put it down. They have to read it to the end. Or if they even put it down, they have to come back to it straight after. So, I'm just praying that every person who read this book is don't read it like a story. Take something from it.
I think this is like literally an example of what God can do for you. Like seeing from young to where you are now, and the differences and everything you've been through along your journey. It's literally a book that shows you how good God is.
Yep. So tell you know, I would love you to tell the nation what you find in this book when you read it.
When I was reading this book, I found that God is very good because he can literally heal you from anything. He can take you out of your troubles and hardships are not forever. It's just a short period of time where if you pray, God can help you. Even if you don't pray, God was always going to be there for you and he can help you from whatever it is.
So how did this book motivate you while you reading it?
It motivated me in a way to think that I need to start praying more and appreciating God for what I have. It made me realize what more I have in life, and like how I should be more appreciative and how I should really give thanks to God for even the little things in my life, little things like when I'm ill and I get better, even if it's like a cold, like it's God's took me through that. Like if I have the fever, God's brought me from being sick to not being sick anymore, and I need to appreciate it because it's people that might just have a tiny little fever and they're gone from it.
True.
And me, God takes me out of it. Like it made me realize, like even remember when we had the car crash with Mum, like I could have died that day, didn't die. God took me out of it, and it's not luck. It's God. I always think, oh, I got lucky. No, I didn't get lucky. God saved me.
Tell me something about the car crash.
When the car crash happened, I was like young, so I was in the car and Mum's driving the car, and all I remember, like I was sleeping and I just had a loud bang, and I woke up, the car's just skidding. So we've ended up on the other side of the motorway now, and I just remember I opened the door. I don't know why I opened the door. I just opened the door, and Mum was like, "What are you doing? Shut the door." So I've shut the door now, and I'm just looking up, like, you know, the airbag that's blown out. Everything's blown out, and I could smell like a weird smell coming from the car, and I was just sitting there thinking, what is going on? So I remember I had to get out the car, and this was at night time, so the motorway was not really busy or anything of that sort. I had to get out the car and I had to go from one side to the other side. You know, the little what's it called, hard shoulder. And I remember Mum called you and we had to get into your car and you brought us home. And yeah, but like now that I'm older, I'm realizing like my life got saved. Like
Amen.
I could have died in that, and have to give God all thanks,
Praise
because
God, praise
I
God.
could have been dead right now, and I'm not. I'm
Thank
still
you.
here.
That's a testimony.
And this book is what made me realize that if it wasn't for this book, I would have just went about my life thinking I got lucky, but no, God helped me.
My granddaughter, thank you very much. This wasn't planned, but you know what? I feel really proud to know that you read this book and felt the way you feel.
And I feel really proud that you sat and made this book and put all your time and effort and your story into this.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I'm very proud of you, Granddad.
God bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Come. Thank you, my readers.
Will everyone get my
Thank you,
Granddad's
bro.
book?
Thank you. God bless someone.